Hermitcraft Season 10 just started a couple of weeks ago, and so many things have already happened. I mean, Iskall returned and created his house made out of a ton of different blocks, Skizzleman and smaller Swedes actually joined, there's been some new pranks going on, and so much more. Yet, aside from all the massive things that are going on, I'd say that this season is going to be one of, if not the best season to date. But why? Well, in this video, I'm going to be recapping what's happened so far in Hermitcraft 10 and why I think it's going to be an amazing season for both the hermits and the viewers. But now, let's stop wasting time with this intro and move on to what's happened in Hermitcraft so far. Basically, Hermitcraft recap, but worse. So far on Hermitcraft.
Exploded. Hello, welcome to Hermitcraft Season 10. It's really good to have you all here, and...
Welcome to Hermitcraft Recap. My name is Impixinated, and with Season 10 going on for about a month now, let's recap what's happened so far. So, the Hermits decided to kick off the season with a game called Demise, which is kind of similar to Grian's live series, and you should be familiar with this if you've already watched Hermitcraft 6. Basically, it's just normal Minecraft until the point where you die. Because whenever you die, your name turns red and you end up becoming a Reaper. A Reaper's job is to essentially kill anyone you want. Except you can't just do it with a sword, you have to actually get creative with it. The main goal of the minigame is to be the last person to die on the server, and the winner of the series would get a prize that wouldn't be revealed until 3 weeks later. I'd say the Demise game is a good example of why Hermitcraft is insanely successful, in that the creators essentially came up with a new game idea to collaborate and drive more traffic to each person's channel. Anyways, there's also been a collab caving session on the first day. There were 4 groups, one with Hypno, Iskall, Mumbo, Rendog, and Stress, another with Vintagebeef, Cleo, Skizzleman, and Tango, the third one with Bdubs, Etho, Falsesymmetry, Jevin, and the final one with Joehills, Keralis, xBCrafted, and Xisuma. Each of the teams fooled around and engaged in some weird shenanigans, like how after Impulse became a Reaper, he punched Skizzleman into a cave, which ended up killing him.
Oh my gosh. Watch out.
Oh no!
Rendog also made some plans for the Demise game, but you should already know that he didn't end up winning. Yeah. But anyways, in week 1 of Hermitcraft, the Hermits have started making their starter bases. Let's summarize each of the Hermits' bases and a little bit of what they've done so far, so you can get an understanding of what they're building and where they're at. Mumbo Jumbo decided to make a base that's hanging off the ground, and he doesn't know how to get in efficiently, so he just kills himself whenever he wants to get in. He's also been spending a lot of time with Iskall, like end busting with him and just overall pranking him. But then, Iskall made his base not by himself, but by the other hermits. He's been making random hermits choose blocks and put them into his house to potentially form a base. But eventually, he tore the whole thing down and made a tower with all the blocks his server mates had contributed to. He's also managed to kill Wells Knight for Demise by breaking grass under him, which led to his death. Just roll the clip.
Right there. Yeah, little. Bye, Well.
But Wells has managed to make a series of stonework buildings, and for the most part, he's been working on his base. However, Grian has essentially dedicated his whole life to fishing. With nearly 5,000 times fished, he has yet to have his first mending book he wants. As well as fishing though, alongside Geminitay, he went into an ocean monument and has also made a base on a mountain near Scar's. And speaking of Scar, his base so far has been a train with a massive railing system. But back to what I said about Geminitay and Grian raiding an ocean monument, Gem also returned to the ocean and got a Heart of the Sea, and has also made a lighthouse, which she added fish to. DocM77 has begun on an early game piglin farm and made a deal with Mumbo about a monopoly with logs, and Rendog built a starter base that kind of looks like the moon. Next, Small Sweens aka Joel actually joined this season, has made a glow squid farm and a ton of buildings, but zombie Cleo has died a couple of times and has literally turned Rendog's base into a giant trash haven. Xisuma made a giant pyramid base with a skeleton spawner. Zedaph created a minigame for the hermits to play and has made his base into a ravine. Pearl explored the ocean with Geminitay and made a base that I don't even know how to explain properly. And Skizzleman clears out an area for his base, starts on it, takes it down, scaled it down, and is now working on it. But Impulse has started on a literal cyberpunk city, and his goal for this season is to turn his base into a massive arcade. Etho has managed to make a base with an exterior this time, and I'd say he has the most unique base so far. And Keralis has made his base once again into the style of a city. Joehills helped raid the Deep Dark with a lot of other hermits and has gotten killed by Vintagebeef. Beef has made a netherrack house and has been the victim of some harmless pranks. And XP made a hole in the mountain and called it his base. Hypno created a build made out of quartz and has made an iron farm in the middle. Tango built an iron farm with Impulse and has created a gigantic steampunk theme base. And finally, we're on to the last 4 hermits. Jevin built a medieval house that took him 9 hours to build. Bdubs made a big tree next to his very detailed house. Cupfan pranked Beef with a ton of poppies in his house. And lastly, Falsesymmetry actually won the Demise game. She won a hermit permit of her choice. Let me explain what that is and why it's relevant. Season 10's shopping area has started to show up now, but to create a shop, you have to have a specific permit that goes along with the items you end up selling. False ended up winning a permit to anything she wanted. So what False won for the Demise game will be very powerful. But there we have it. What has happened in Hermitcraft Season 10 and why I think it's successful. Anyhow, why do you think Hermitcraft is so successful? And who is your favorite hermit? Comment your thoughts down below and I'll definitely see it. So don't forget to like and subscribe. But anyways, goodbye fellow viewers.